Good morning, Fred. We're here for a couple more videos for the vlog. So the first one, you handed me an article about gastroesophageal reflux, written by a medical doctor at the New York Daily News, who had spoken about how common it was among people, as well as attacking at least a third of the American population. That's 100 million people. And he had related to a lot of it as before you enter into any type of surgical procedure, about people that were being overweight or that were experiencing sometimes constant constipation. And he spoke increasingly about the pressure that increases in the abdomen that leads to the reflux and the hiatal hernia situations. And you know, I know you speak about that most of the time with people when you talk about your healthy journey in relationship to how people combine their foods and how they do all this process. So could you give me some feedback, please, off of what you kind of have seen in relationship to acid reflux and many other conditions associated with this?
Yeah, no problem. In my experience, over 40 years working with people as a nutritional consultant, I found that 90% of the acid reflux is a lifestyle caused by improper lifestyle. Most people today are just mixing all their foods up. They're not paying any attention or not even aware of how important food combining is to have proper digestion. People are just mixing up all the different kinds of foods and really putting a burden on the digestive process. And when you do this day after day, what happens? They start a low level of fermentation process going on, and I mean it just causes gas and expansion, and the gas backs up, pushes up against your diaphragm and ends up coming up through your esophagus. So by eating in the right combinations and not overeating is a factor. Eating late at night is another factor. When your metabolism slows down, you're just eating even normal amounts of food, if you're eating late at night, are going to cause a problem. What I do with people who have acid reflux is that I eliminate the processed food and get them to eat as much fresh food as I possibly can, eating the right combinations, and not eat before you go into bed. And I found that acid reflux disappears very, very rapidly. Then, in a lot of cases, of course, I add in the digestive enzymes and the probiotics and systemic enzymes. In many cases, the systemic enzymes and the digestive enzymes, they remedy the acid reflux very, very quickly. Basically, I consider it to be a lifestyle problem: overeating, improper combinations, processed food, drinking too much water with your meals, diluting your gastric juices. When you follow the right procedure, and it usually disappears very, very rapidly. Unfortunately, there are some medical doctors who are starting to don't focus on dietary changes or changing your eating habits, and they go right into medication. In some radical situations, they're starting to recommend surgery, and that's not something that I would encourage somebody to do without trying lifestyle changes and changing their diet and doing the right thing with their diet.
Thanks, Fred. That was very good. And just as a follow-up to that, there was additional articles which you can find underneath this vlog that we always put in there that everybody can read and kind of make up their own decisions about how there's a drug interaction with the acid reflux medications that may involve the increased risk of heart attack, angina, and 48% increased risk of stroke. So obviously, we'd rather you not go that way. We'd rather you make a lifestyle change. Also, another statistic came up as Barrett's esophagus is probably increased 5 times the amount as it was in previous years. So obviously, the doctors this one doctor kind of gave a little bit of a bullet point of like eating too much, eating on the go, fatty foods. Heartburn can be triggered by caffeinated drinks, soda, chocolate. So obviously they may be speaking to the what you leave out list. So do you want to give any final comments on that?
Lifestyle changes, Rory. It's all, there's a million things in there that they can come up with. A lot of these studies, they really don't prove anything anyway. It's all based on doing the right thing with your diet and leaving out the processed food and eating the right combinations. A lot of these studies, they're just leaving out so many variables, so I don't really get too excited about those studies.
Great. Thank you, Fred. And don't forget to check out our other vlogs on www.fredbishyforhealth.com. Thank you.